What is up, everybody? Grant here from Spectra Racing. We are at Daytona International Speedway for the Optima Ultimate Street Car Challenge. Gridded up here, ready to go for session number 3. So this event so far has been a blast. I've been up at the banks here before, but only doing the Richard Petty driving experience, never in good old Axstang here. So this is it's pretty fun. Now, I didn't get a chance to put the transmission I wanted to in the car. So I'm kind of limited on top speed here today. I think I hit 136 is what the GPS said. Speedometer I thought said 145. It was probably 136. I don't know which one's more accurate. So some of the things here at the Optima Ultimate Street Car Challenge. We have the first day here, we have this road course, obviously, where we're timed. Surprisingly, I have one of the lower horsepower cars here, even with 645 brake horsepower, with about 521 to the wheels. Yeah, so this track is all about speed. Behind Mo in the Cadillac. Too late on the brakes. Alright, so now that we have finished session number 3, due early to an accident on a course somewhere, I'm going to do the speed stop. So the speed stop is kind of like a mini autocross. Basically just a little mini drag race, turn around, one little kink, stop in a stop box. Oh, I finally broke 11. What was that, 10-4?
Okay, so that was the end of the track day and the speed stop challenge. So the track day, the car did not that great, honestly. I had intended in putting a TR6060 transmission, which is kind of like the T56 Tremec Magnum you hear about. It's 6-speed as opposed to my 5-speed. My 5th gear is turning like 3,000 RPM at 140 miles an hour, so there is just nothing left. I also really wasn't pushing it that hard, so my time was pretty bad. There were a lot of accidents in front of me, which, as you saw in that clip, made me kind of dial it back a little bit, just seeing how intense this track was, and there's not a lot of runoff places, and you can really mess up your car. Now, I did buy the insurance, but still, I'm kind of attached to good old Axstang here. So, but the speed stop, I did actually do pretty good on. On the left course, I think I had one of the 5th best time of the day with 10 seconds flat. The right side, which they combine your time, didn't do as good. There was some debris that was kind of accumulating towards the back section, and it was triggering the ABS on my car for some reason. So at the end of the day, of day 1, we did what was called a road rally. Now this road rally, from what I've heard, was one of the worst ones they've ever done, because I've heard that some of the other road rallies are actually a lot of fun. Now, we were sent to downtown Daytona Beach during like rush hour to an Advanced Auto Parts in a bad part of town. So that was not fun. Now, you're supposed to be able to prove it's a street car, and that's fine. I'm okay with going over speed bumps and stuff. Axstang is actually very comfortable. But then we were sent to a mall parking lot in DeLand, Florida, which was utterly pointless. There was nothing to do there except eat hot dogs at a grill. So Mo and I left, and we just went back to bed because we had to bed early for day 2. So day 2 is the Autocross and the design and engineering. So here is the clip from the Autocross. So for the Autocross, I managed to hold position 3 for the 2 morning sessions. There were 3 sessions of 3, which was a little strange, being that your tires were cold for basically a third of your total runs. But I guess that added to an extra challenge of that. And by the 3rd run of 3, 2 people had unfortunately beat me, and I wasn't able to beat my best time. So I ended up with in a 5th position, which kind of ended up placing 5th overall everywhere, which isn't necessarily that bad considering this car is on the lesser side of power and is much cheaper than most of the cars in the GT class. I think there were about 28 people in the GT class, and almost all of them were more expensive than my car. So I'm pretty proud of that achievement. The other thing we did on day 2 was the design and engineering section. So design and engineering, you do a 2-minute presentation trying to sell, your car and what you made better compared to the factory. So being that this car, was pretty crappy from the factory, couldn't really handle, could barely accelerate in a straight line. I tried to emphasize that, but I don't think the judges could see past a lot of the zip ties and stuff in the back that I never got a chance to fix after putting the roll cage in. So I scored pretty poorly, unfortunately. The car is pretty beat up. I think I got hurt on some of the paint and stuff like that too. So, it's kind of to be expected. But overall, the car did pretty good. There was a lot of attrition at this event. I think by the end of the day, there was something like 15 cars that dropped down to GT class. Just couldn't make it to the last event. So pretty proud the car made it with no issues, none whatsoever. And, well, will I do Optima again? I'm probably going to have to say no, mostly just because of the insurance costs. A lot of it was because of Daytona. A lot of it was because it's a modified car. Claiming that this car is worth $48,000 is a joke, because it's not, but it's worth, to me, $48,000 to rebuild it. So the insurance was unfortunately $913. which was way more than I wanted to spend. And it's much cheaper just to do non-competitive events, non-time trial events with a car like this. Now, that kind of leaves out, well, what kind of competition would we do with cars? Well, that would be the car to the left of me, which is a Volkswagen GTI, which is worth about $3,000. So don't have to insure it at a timed event. So unfortunately, it kind of defeats the purpose of Optima, because that car is not really set up that nice. It's just a pure race car. So I really enjoyed the event, but I think it's just too much big money for me, and I'm just not willing to spend that much. But if you got the money, you cannot beat that event for fun.